we got a new boat. A new to us boat. It's a little bit older than me, about the age of my dad, but it is a sweet boat. So I'm going to give you guys a quick little walk around tour of the boat at its current condition, and then what it's going to look like, and kind of talk you through some things we're going to do to it. So here it is. It's a 1972 SlickCraft SS215. It's a 21.5 foot boat. We bought it from an older gentleman whose dad was the original owner. Bought it right here in Salt Lake. The boat's hull overall is in super good condition. As we come around the back, you see the stern drive. It's a 225 horse OMC stern drive, and we've got this kicker plate here that our plan is to add a nice little kicker motor. The trailer needs some work. We want to take some of this carpet off. We want to put new tires and wheels, paint the trailer, put some new lights on the trailer, and then color sand and polish the whole boat. Try and get rid of some of this oxidation. So now let's climb inside the boat. So it's got this nice little ladder that folds up. We're going to sand and lacquer and stain all of these here. Here is your first look at the inside of the boat. A couple things right off the bat that we are going to do. This teak wood railing is going to come off. We're going to put a sliding track for downriggers and rod holders. So that's number one. Number two, we are going to rig up some rod storage here on the side. One of the sides, probably this side, because it's longer. So rod storage is a big one. The biggest thing that we think we're going to do is pull out this little kitchen, stove, and fridge sink combo. We're going to pull it out. So the reason for pulling it out is simply because we want to run 6 downriggers. So what we want to do here, we're not 100% sure yet, but we think possibly some kind of storage bench back here, because we're going to pull this seat out. Storage bench or a couple of coolers with padded lids. This will be out of the way, and I think we might do 2 swivel chairs. So originally we were going to do 4 swivel chairs in this region, but storage may be more important, so we might be doing coolers to act as a live well and food storage, or a bench or something of that sort. Now for a cool part that I at first didn't really love about this boat and wasn't that excited about, and that's the little cabin quarters. So I'm going to show you that right now, but the more I'm looking at it, the more excited I am about it. And we can put all sorts of stuff in here, honestly, and then when I bring the wife and daughter out, the daughter can sit in here and watch a show or take a nap or something. But here's the interior cabin. So it's got these cushions. This cushion goes here. Make a big bed. This is a cab cover. Supposedly encloses the whole cab. Got a little light up here, but this super sweet like faux fur type stuff. It's probably gonna get yanked out and something else put on there, but for now that'll do. We have under here, which is my wife's favorite thing, a toilet, which I don't know how that functions yet. Gonna have to figure that out. But all the fiberglass original looks so good, guys. Well, guys, as you can see, the tracker is gone, and the SlickCraft is in. My dad and I just went down to the parts store, picked up 2 new deep cycle batteries. We're wanting to put lithium in here eventually, but the budget calls for lead acid at this point. But taking the old crap battery out, I'm gonna put 2 new batteries in and try starting this thing for the first time since we bought it. Alright guys, we got the water hose hooked up and it's running excellent. Listen to it. My genius of a dad's taken apart this little kitchen island. So he's taken off the mini fridge. He's got to take that out to access some screws that screw.
Just had to take the door off to get to these screws that were behind the door. But we've got that now, so we can pull that out. Start taking the rest of the screws out. We've got a bunch of them that goes in here to the back of the chair. And then the water tank and the plumbing for the stove and everything. I'll unhook all that now.
Heck yeah, so the theory is going to take this out. We're going to keep this little thing, so if we ever want to put it back in, we can. But it's cool. It's got a little water tank under here. And it's got a spot to hook up a propane bottle.
Yeah, it's got this stove
there. Pretty flipping cool.
Yeah, it really is.
And then this fridge. This fridge is actually super light. I don't know if you can tell, but picking it up with a couple fingers. So gonna keep that. Might throw that in the office for now. But we're getting there. So our goal today is to get the motor running really well. Going to take this island out. Gonna take this seat out. That's the goal for today. It's quite a big task, to be honest. Taking this stuff out is kind of the easy part. Then we're gonna deep clean the living crap out of this boat. But as of right now, everything is functioning as it should, which is awesome. I better knock on some wood. But this is so cool, guys.
Yeah. See that.
Okay. Don't hurt yourself. Okay, tilt it on its back.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. It's got a little gas tank.
Oh, okay. Get it back.
Yeah, get it back.
Guys, this boat has a bunch of stuff that's like going back in time. Like, look at the old boxes and stuff. Oil changing machine.
A bunch of spark.
I've never seen that. How old do you think this? Do you remember seeing toilet paper?
Yeah, I do. Like in the 70s.
Toilet paper from the 70s. I really don't think this boat got used that much, to be honest, guys. So as we pulled out a bunch of this old carpet and stuff, we were surprised at how well the floor looked underneath of here. So we lifted this chair up, pulled some of this old carpet out, and began to kind of see a blank slate for the first time of what this boat really might be able to turn into. And we got really excited. The stuff came out super easy, and we're just going to pressure wash some of this stuff and clean it up. Pulling that kitchen out and that captain's chair. Look how nice that looks.
That is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. That's crazy.
It really opened the boat up.
Now we'll pull this one out. We're going to put a swivel captain's chair there for the driver. And I'm thinking maybe one more there, or a Yeti cooler right here with a pad on top that we can use as a live well. And then maybe another Yeti right here that we can use for our drinks.
There's a couple big reasons that we wanted to upgrade to a larger boat like this. The first one was being able to handle some of the bodies of water that we enjoy to fish the most. They're notorious for some windy conditions and some big waves. And my dad and I feel a lot more comfortable in a bigger boat rather than a little 16-foot aluminum boat. The second reason is being able to take a few more people out with us. We have a big family, and most of the time it's my dad and I, but having the option to take my brother or some siblings along is always a great option. And this bigger boat really allows us to be able to do that. So as we went through this boat, we kind of just started fixing little things as we came across them.
How is it?
You could sleep 2 people in here pretty easy.
So, got plenty of leg room.
You can climb up out the sun deck.
This is the view. A little light up there. I'm going to see if it works now that the batteries are hooked up. A little mirror.
Oh, turn the battery switch on. Oh, yeah.
Got lights?
Yeah. That's so cool. Everything works.
Alright guys, it is time to detail this boat. My dad's just getting over here, but we got the boat drug out right here, and we are going to pressure wash the crap out of it, scrub the outside, and set you guys up over here to watch the whole thing. Alright guys, it's game time. We are finally taking the boat out. My dad and I had some free time tonight, so we are gonna go drop the boat in the water, make sure everything floats, everything's good, do a victory lap or two, and then call her a night. We didn't bring any fishing gear or anything. We're strictly just going to see if everything functions the way it should. So fingers crossed, and we will see you guys on the lake. Well guys, so far so good. The boat seems to be running really well, idling. We're just gonna let it idle for a minute, and then gonna back out here in a second. Well, you guys, I can't really even believe my eyes, to be honest. We got it down there in the water, and it started right up and was just purring. Dropped the trim down, everything was golden. We let it idle for 5 or 10 minutes. Went to put it in reverse, and it sounded like the end of the world. So raised the trim, checked everything out. We've known that these stern drives are notorious for their crappy trim. You're raising and lower of the outdrive. And so dropped it down again, went to put it in reverse, same kind of thing, and we just effed up the whole entire stern drive. Busted there, busted there. Like the whole motor just is freely moving now. That kills the boat build for a good minute. What is up, guys? We have some news. So the last time you guys saw us, we were pretty bummed. We had some malfunctions with the boat, and my dad knows a guy. Sorry, trying to expose here. My dad knows a guy who's actually our neighbor. He's a boat mechanic, and lucky enough, he's moving out of town and is getting rid of a bunch of stuff. So on our way back from the lake after we busted our stern drive, we pulled in there and we're like, man, we're so bummed we busted our stern drive. He's like, dude, don't worry. I have that exact stern drive over here and I'll sell it to you. So anyways, we got the stern drive. He has the exact parts we needed. So my dad's been doing a lot of research lately and figured out how we can replace this, and it should be fairly simple. But my dad has spent all day cleaning and grinding these gears and getting them perfect. So my dad spent all day cleaning and prepping for the donor stern drive. We got it bolted up here. Once we got it all bolted up, we went on the inside to the engine, changed all the spark plugs, changed the oil and oil filter, and we're really just going through the whole motor, making sure everything was dialed and ready to go. As you can see here, these old spark plugs were pretty corroded, so we went ahead and replaced every single one of them in this motor just to assure that everything moving forward is a fresh start. Here on the stern drive, we greased every component that we possibly could just to assure that moving forward, everything will function properly and we have a good base.
What are we doing? We are doing our maiden voyage in our boat, and everything so far, knock on wood, is perfect. We have one little problem. We just put a new prop on the boat because we damaged the other one, and I think we put it on backwards, so in order to go forward we're in reverse, so we're going to take it back to the house and fix that really quick. Other than that, I think we're gold. Everything seems great.
Got a pretty exciting package today from our friends at Fish Fighter Products. They sent us some downrigger mounting brackets and some sliding rails. So we're gonna open this bad boy up and see what we got.
Oh, dude, it doesn't get much better than that. For real. And you know what? I think we can just pull
The top one?
just the top one.
Alright guys, so what we're doing is installing this Fish Fighter SRS system, sliding rail system. So we got through and measured where exactly we want everything. We had to take the old canopy or bimini top rail off. So now we are just getting ready to drill our first holes on this rail system. So these are just SRS sliding rail system rails you can buy from Fish Fighter. It's a company out of Idaho. They make some awesome products to customize your boat. We got their longest option to run on the starboard and port side gunnel walls of our boat, just so we can customize our spread any way we want it. We also got two sections that you'll see a little bit later in the video that are on our transom to allow us to run long lines out the back or the Fish Fighter fillet table. So super awesome products. We're just tightening up the screws on this side. Then we'll be all done with the rail on this side, then we'll move to the other side. So if you guys remember on our last boat we had manual downriggers. On this boat we decided to go with electric, but the cheapest electric ones we could get, or most inexpensive I guess. So these are the Canon Magnum 5s, and then we have a pair of Magnum 10s as well. So the Canon Magnum 5 does not have a swivel base. It's a quick detach, but I bought a couple swivel bases. So I'm installing those now while my dad is building the Fish Fighter downrigger plate and the Canon downrigger setup. Okay guys, so we got our first downrigger and downrigger mount from Fish Fighter Products all set up. So you can pull these two pins out and you can freely slide the downrigger wherever you want. Or you can lock it into place here. And it'll lock just like that. Or you can take these ones out here and the whole downrigger can come out and you can move it around the boat. So, and then what we did too, so this is the Canon Magnum 5. It does not come with a swivel base, so we installed a swivel base here, and then we installed this Scotty weight retrieval line here. So this downrigger is all set up and ready to go. We just have to put in the wiring here, which we just got to run this wire down through, and this downrigger is ready to go off 45 degrees off the back of the boat. Along with their rail system, they make so many other accessories. These are their downrigger plates that are super customizable, especially for our kind of unique old style gunnel walls that were uneven. These were able to customize them to get them to fit perfectly and to sit and ride really well. So they make all sorts of stuff, downrigger weights, downrigger brackets, and even a little bit later you'll see we have their tackle tenders that we put our bait, our pliers, our weights. They even have rod holders, all sorts of stuff. So I cannot say enough good things about their products. Once again, it's fishfighter.com. You can find all their stuff here, but here we're just attaching a Canon swivel base. That way we can move our downriggers in and out when we're loading or unloading the boat from the trailer, because I like to leave my downriggers on the boat while I trailer, unless I'm trailering it very far. But most of the time I'm within an hour of the house, so I don't take my downriggers on and off. I have a ratchet strap and some eye bolts that you'll see later in the video that I kind of loop over the downriggers just as a safety line while I drive. But here's a look at the second downrigger. This is the Magnum 10. Alright guys, we just finished the one side of our boat with the Fish Fighter rail system. So we have two Canon downriggers, and this is a Fulby rod holder. And I'll give you a quick little look at the system we're going to be running. So we have the Magnum 10 right here that will be boomed out pretty dang far. Then we have the Magnum 5 that will be on a 45-degree angle. And then we have the Fulby, which will be a long line straight out the back. Kind of look at the setup. We are going to mirror the exact same thing on the opposite side of the boat. Alright, next up on the to-do list is the rod rack or the rod holder that we have for the roof of the boat. And the main purpose of this is obviously to hold our rods, but more than anything it's to keep the rods out of the way when we're switching spots on the lake. We got some epoxy here we're putting on the bolts before we tighten them, so we'll never have any sort of water damage moving forward. We're just attaching this with stainless steel hardware. But the main purpose of this is, like I said, to keep the rods out of the way when we're on the water. So it's really easy to reel our rods up from the downriggers, throw them up on the roof, and get to the next spot without having to try and reorganize the rods in the gunnel rod holders or anything. They can just sit up here out of the way. And I think this also is a good facelift for the boat. I think it really makes it look like a fishing boat, in my opinion. We got some stuff. So this is the lineup. We're gonna have the Humminbird synced with the Minn Kota trolling motor for like contour lock and iPilot features, which will be great. Then we got the EchoMap 93 SV and the EchoMap 73 SV. I think I'm going to have these two towards the back, so when we're trolling we don't have to turn around and check fish finders. So these are going to be our main fish finders, and this is going to be our navigation. So it should be pretty rad setup. Guys, welcome back. It's been about, let's see, August, September, November, December, January, February, March, April. 8 months? 7 or 8 months since we have done anything to the boat. We've been super busy with hunts, and it started snowing here November 3rd, and it is currently April 15th, and there's still about 3 feet of snow in front of here. Just gonna give you a quick little look. That's a full-size Jeep Cherokee right there, completely buried. So we still have quite a bit of snow, but what I want to do today is I want to pull the boat out. We finally have open water on one lake near our house, and me and my dad are itching to get out. So we have a few small things left on the boat. We got to mount the trolling motor, wire the fish finders, wire the downriggers, and mount and wire the new kicker motor. So I know that sounds like a lot, but the hardest part was getting all of those parts, because they're expensive and it takes time kind of gathering all the parts you want. So the plan of attack, we got side by side with the plow. I'm going to try and move as much of the snow back towards the tree as I can. It's gonna be difficult because this is wet, heavy snow, and this is kind of where I pushed a snowbank, so it's gonna be hard to get past here. I have some ice fishing sleds and stuff right there. I'm gonna hook a chain up to those and try to drag those out. Those are gonna be anchored pretty good. And then I have a propane torch, like a weed burner, that I'm gonna have to use to get any remaining snow out of the way. And I'm afraid we're probably gonna have to come clear out to here because it's a snug fit in there. So we're gonna have to drag it almost straight out. So we're gonna have to try and move a lot of this snow. So that's the plan for today, guys. Get the boat out of the garage or the lean-to shed, whatever you want to call it. Get it out and do some spring cleaning and start cranking on some of this stuff, because it is go time. We managed to get the boat out without sliding or jackknifing anything, and we're taking it down to my dad's body shop to do some of the last stuff to it. We're going to fast forward through a lot of this little stuff. Wired a whole fuse block here, did a series of gunnel LED lights on the side. I got a fish fighter tackle tender that I'm mounting a ram mount for the Garmin screens right here on the side of the fish fighter. Rail system, we drilled a huge hole in the back of our transom, which scared the crap out of us, for the controls of our kicker motor. That's a pretty big hole to be putting in your boat, but we needed it for the hydraulic lines and the steering cables and the throttle cable. We wired some of these downrigger whips. I got some of this waterproof solder connectors, which I was super impressed with. Use a heat gun, heat up the solder, and it has built-in shrink wrap. Made it super easy. Drilling another pretty good sized hole up here on the front of the boat next to the trolling motor. This is going to be our biggest tool out there fishing, is this Minn Kota Terrova trolling motor. But what's even more important than the trolling motor is power to run the trolling motor. And we got a 36 volt lithium battery from our friends at Epoch Batteries, which we have now tested this battery, and you can troll for 2 to 3 days straight without needing to charge this thing. It's incredible. Can't say enough about that battery. But we got this weatherproof boot here that seals everything up nicely on the bow of the boat. Up next on the boat build is something I'm very excited about, and may or may not be the most important piece of the puzzle for catching more fish. So let me explain it. Right here, what we got is an Epoch battery. This is a 36 volt lithium battery. So I'm super excited about this piece. If you guys have any questions about this battery or want to get one for yourself, I'll leave a link down in the bio. But this battery is a beast, and I'm stoked for it. So we're just getting it all wired up. I got the trolling motor, and then the iPilot navigation thing I got to get mounted to the top of this battery, and then we're going to slide it back, bolt it down, and put the cover back on, and that should be it. But super stoked. This is one of the last pieces of the puzzle before this boat is ready to catch some fish. Well, what's super cool is it comes with this little gauge. It's telling me the battery is about 40% right now, and it's got a long lead, so I'm going to try and fish this and put it up in my dash so I can always have this as a visual. But this is also really cool. It comes with an app, and it tells me the life of the battery,
and everything you need to know.
The back transom interior wall clamped down. Got a little bit of a stencil going. So we got it traced, and we're gonna get it cut out. But we got most of the interior trim pulled, and now we gotta sand and stain it. But these are the last of the final touches, and we also have this like leather or vinyl trim pieces all over the boat as well. Now for some of the final cosmetic pieces in our boat is just redoing some trim pieces. This is the back transom wall like I just said, but we're gonna sand and stain it. We got a high quality marine grade stain and sealer. So we sanded all of these pieces with 600 grit sandpaper. These are pieces of the ladder that I took off. These are side pieces in the cab. And we did 3 coats. We stained them, and then I'd wipe them off with a rag, let them dry in the sun for a few hours, and then do another coat. So we repeated this process on every interior piece in the boat. We took every little thing out, sanded it, and stained it. Right here we took and made a new side panel piece for the console. It had a chintzy fake wood side panel piece, so we made a real one. And then I took and cleaned all of this vinyl leather with some abrasion cleaner and chemical. And then we specifically ordered some vinyl paint. So we went and painted all of these brown interior pieces gray to match with the flooring that we are going to be installing later. So we painted all these pieces. We did 2 coats on every one. And like I said, we prepped them and cleaned them. This is that front flap that's in the cabin of the boat that will go over the epoch battery. So what you want to do here is you dust a layer of paint on. You don't want to try and cover the whole thing in one coat. So we dust it, let it tack up, and then we hit another coat. And this stuff, 2 months later, has lasted really well. We haven't had any chips. We're taking out some of these old speakers in the boat, ripping out the gunnel carpet, and we are going to prep that for some rhino liner. Moving on the inside of the cab, I had the battery all mocked up and in place, but I had to remove it once more to take a bunch of this Austin Powers type fur lining out, because we are going to prep and Raptor line. We're going to go with a white Raptor liner on the interior of the cabin. And this was probably the most time consuming part of this build, was taking a wire brush and creating some scratches for that Raptor liner to adhere to over the whole cabin. There was a lot of old glue or vinyl that held that carpet up, so that was kind of a pain to scrape all that stuff off, but I got it done. And of course I waited till it was a hot day and did this in a long sleeve shirt so I didn't get fiberglass on me. Here we are hitting it with a gray etching primer just to ensure that this Raptor liner will stick. So it's not imperative that it's a perfect coat of etching primer in here. It's just getting something semi-tacky for that Raptor liner to adhere to. So we got some stuff masked off. And at first we heard that you could roll this Raptor liner on, so we figured that might be easier than buying the separate gun. So we spent an hour or 2 trying to roll this stuff on. As you can see, we're not making a whole lot of progress, and it's not giving us that Raptor liner texture that we were really looking for. Alright guys, we just got everything masked off. We're about ready to do some Raptor liner. We're doing black on the gunnel walls and then white in the cuddy. So we got these all prepped. We had trash bags and masking tape. We made it work. So now we're just gonna clean the surface and mix up some Raptor liner and get this sprayed. So the next day we went and got one of the Raptor liner spray guns, and as you can see, this is definitely the way to go. It's a little bit finicky, messing with the regulator to get the air pressure just right to where it will spit out the texture, kind of an aggressive texture, which we wanted.
but this gun made it so much easier. We did 2 coats on each gunnel wall, and then we went and cleaned the gun, and we were able to spray the cubby as well. But as you can see here, my dad used to be a painter for cars, so he's got it down pat on how to lay it down. Some flat material here, which looked great, and I couldn't say enough good stuff about this Raptor liner so far. We just bought the stuff on Amazon, nothing special, but I'm super pleased with the way it turned out, and maybe down the future we will do this on the fenders of our trailer. I really liked how aggressive and durable this stuff seems to be. Like I said earlier, the Raptor liner spray gun is definitely the way to go versus rolling this material on. The only downside to this was we used a whole can of the Raptor liner trying to roll it on the day previous, so that left us with 1 can of white to try and finish the interior cubby, which was not enough material to really coat it the way I wanted to. But I got a thin layer over the whole cubby and it will do for now. Between that and the etching primer and cleaning a lot of that material and glue off, I think it turned out pretty solid. But I would love to down the road, maybe this winter once we have it in the warm and dry shop, kind of pull the cushions out and hit it again once or twice more with a couple other jugs of this Raptor liner to really just solidify this material on there. But like I said, this stuff turned out great. I think white really makes this room seem bigger and really make it feel cleaner, and just it pops. Moving on, my brother came over to help me reupholster some of these cushions, and we got some duck canvas cloth, some heavy duty outdoor cloth to go over these old flannel cushions, and we opted just to keep the old flannel material on to kind of keep that internal foam held together. We didn't know the condition of that foam. We got some grip tape from Home Depot here, and we are just putting it on the step and fender of the trailer, so when you're climbing in and out of the boat. Installing some of these stained pieces back into the boat, as you can see the 2 side pieces on the wall. And then I took the front bow trim piece, and on the underside I mounted the lithium battery charger to the bottom side, so when I flip it over, the charger is hidden, and I notched the front of that triangle for the charging cables to come out, and then I refastened that down to the front there, and I just kept everything tidy and really clean and out of sight up there. And then for the last time, I lifted this lithium battery up in there, and for being a 36 volt battery, it's on the lighter end, but it's still about 90 pounds. We thought this video was over, but we had a last minute audible. Thanks to my brother, brother-in-law, other brother-in-law, and their partner Greg here at Park City Signs. We are giving the boat a little bit of a facelift, and in the form of some sick matte gray cement topo.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get the old wrap peeled off and throw this stuff on and set you guys on a tripod to watch the process. All right, guys, as you can tell, we got all the old vinyl peeled off, and my brother and I just wiped down this whole side, and we're about to prep it to put the new vinyl on. So we're gonna set you up on a time lapse, and I think it should go pretty quick. I think we got the hardest part done. Yeah. Guys, I don't know if you can tell through the camera how good this is making this boat look. We joked around saying it takes it from a 1974 era of boat, which this is, to modern day 2023 look. I could not be more stoked on the way it's turning out. We did up around these windows here, and we're gonna do this little pillar here on each side. And Jed's working on the dog box inside the boat, which with the new floor just looks money. And then my brother-in-law Cody is over here doing all the delicate stuff around all the obstacles back here.
Trying to fit in here.
But he's making it look very good. Cody and Jed just finished the inside of the boat, and it looks so sweet. So we finished the dog box here, and it looks money. That really just accents the floor. And then we did up here under the dash. That's kind of the first thing you see when you climb in the boat is that. And it looks super sharp as well. I love it. Here's a little peek of the boat. My brother and brother-in-law knocked it out of the park. I can't thank these guys enough. If you guys are in the Utah area and need any vinyl work done, check out Park City Signs. I'll leave their website in the description below. But I can't wait to get the boat all cleaned up and polished up and give you guys a final reveal of this beauty. This is, in my opinion, the biggest facelift of the boat has happened in the last 2 hours. I mean, come on. This thing looks so good. We are on our maiden voyage with the boat completely done. Here's the final reveal. It's been 12 months in the making. I'm gonna walk you around. We're in a busy parking lot, but we're just about to drop this thing into the water. So I wanted to show you guys it with all the pieces put together. So let's take a look. Up front, we sanded and painted the entire trailer. We put a new winch on the front. We put new rubber stoppers, new safety cables. We cut this railing around the top, installed a quick release plate and a Minn Kota Terova. This is a 112 foot-pounds, 72-inch shaft with Mega Live. And then moving this way, my brother and brother-in-law at Park City Signs, they did a vinyl wrap. This is a gray with a black topo. I think it looks so sharp. Put a light bar up top. We did the wrap around the windows. We added some tread on the top of the trailer fenders. This is an Amazon special bike mount, 30 bucks to hold my live scope. This is a Summit fishing equipment pole, and this is the LVS 62, so it's the live scope XR. It's their brand new transducer. We put brand new lights on the trailer, LED waterproof lights. We cut and changed the angle of these rollers so that they could be taller. We put some boat buckle straps down here. Around the back, we added this Yamaha 9.9 horsepower kicker motor. This has the GPS unit as well, and it's electric start. We did a full service and tune up on our stern drive. This thing is running like a top now. We added some Garmin side imaging. We sanded and painted every piece of wood in the boat, even the treads on the ladder. Just another view of the boat here. Up top, we added, this is a Canon Mag 10. It's a telescoping downrigger, electric downrigger. It goes out about 6 feet. We'd run this out 90 degrees. We have the Canon Mag 5. It's a fixed boom pole. We run this at 45 degree out the back. Let's see, let's climb back inside the boat and check out the inside. Okay, the inside of the boat has changed so much. I'm probably gonna miss a few things, but the biggest thing that jumps right out at you is the aqua traction on the floor. We had this custom 3D printed and cut. We got the Hush logo here. Park City Signs did the same wrap on the interior around the dog box. We tore out the old brown carpet that was in these gunnel walls, and we did a black bed liner, my dad did. We prepped and painted all of the old vinyl leather pieces in the boat that were brown, painted them gray to match the floor. My cousin Logan did these gunnel LED lights around the whole boat. I would say one of the biggest features of this boat is the fishability, and the number one thing that makes this boat so fishable is this fish fighter rail system. This is the SRS system. So this is a 72-inch length here, and we got the fish fighter downrigger plates here, which allows you to take your downriggers and slide them around the boat. The best part, if I'm done fishing and want to move a downrigger, I just pull these two pins and lift straight up, and I can move the downrigger out of the boat or somewhere else around the boat. The coolest part about Fish Fighter is they're a local Idaho company, and they build everything in-house. They have all sorts of accessories. They have fillet tables, they have chairs, they have tackle organizers, but one of my favorite pieces is this tackle tender. I can have bait in here, weights. I even have a golf towel here on the side to dry my hands off when I change bait. Put a dodger in here. Then they got a rod tender here that has a tensioning band that I can put the rod in while I bait the hook and send it out the back. I have these Folby rod holders that are on the same SRS sliding system by Fish Fighter, so I can move these around the boat. On this side, I have the exact same setup as the port side of the boat. I have a Garmin Echo Map 93 right here. This is the main screen that I use. When me and my dad fish, I sit on the starboard side, he sits on the port side of the boat, and I have my navigation and then my live imaging on these ram mounts so I can change it however I want. I have another tackle tender here for bait and sinkers. On the port side of the boat, my dad's got a Garmin Echo Map 73 tackle tender towel on his side of the boat. So this boat is set up to be extremely efficient when trolling for fish. We added these rod holders here and drilled holes in the transom wall for the rod butts. We redid most of the wiring in the whole boat. That includes some of these interior lights and the control panel here. We mounted the kicker controls up here above the factory controls. We even sandblasted the cup holders. We tried to do this boat build on a budget, but we still wanted to keep some of the nostalgic features of the original 1974 manufacture. Up here is one of the biggest features of this boat and the ability to catch fish. And this is the monitor for the Epoch lithium battery. It's a 36-volt lithium battery, and it can run that trolling motor on big bodies of water and windy conditions for 2 to 3 days without charging, no problem. If you guys have a desire to buy one of these batteries or check them out, I'll leave a link in the bio. So far, I've been extremely impressed. We tried to keep the dash as close to factory as possible, but we had to add this battery monitor and this oil light for the kicker motor. We went through and cleaned and changed the bulbs in all of the gauges up front. Up here in the front side of the gunnel is where we keep some tackle storage, some Kokanee tackle. We have a Yeti Go box with some of our necessities that we use all the time. We added a vinyl wrap up here at the front to tie in the boat. We sand and painted all of this wood, as you guys have seen, throughout the whole boat. We added some aqua traction up top for your phone or sunglasses so they don't slip around. Okay, so this cuddy looks a little bit different. We reupholstered, my brother and I, all these old flannel cushions with a duck canvas. We painted this vinyl leather piece that covers where the Epoch battery and lithium charger are. We had some storage in here for life jackets and snacks. We have some blankets and pillows up here for my daughter. We're gonna be hanging out and fishing with a 3-year-old, so this is a great little area to keep her contained. We pulled off all the Austin Powers looking fur carpet and did a white bed liner in here. And yeah, guys, that's basically the gist of the interior. I hope you have enjoyed this boat build as much as my dad and I enjoyed building this thing. I failed to mention we did a rod rack on the roof, and we did a big 60-inch light bar on the top of the boat as well. But I can't thank you guys enough for following along on this journey. we've been able to build our dream boat with the help of a few companies. And if you guys have any desire to help those companies out or buy any of the gear that you see on our boat, I'll leave links in the description for our lithium battery from Epoch, our fish fighter rail system, our Garmin electronics, any of that stuff. Those companies stepped up and helped us out big time. So if you have any desire to buy any of that gear, links will be in the description. But for now, I hope you guys can enjoy a little montage of a before and after of this boat. And we're gonna get it on the water tomorrow and hopefully catch some big lake trout. So I can't thank you guys enough. And if you like this, make sure you leave a comment below, because if you make yourself heard, we might be able to do a little more fishing content with this boat and bring you guys along. So I hope you guys enjoy this montage, and we'll see you next time.